Good evening, honored guests and fellow graduates. Please rise and join us for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may now be seated. I am Sarah Larson.
And I'm CJ Zaslavsky, proud seniors and members of our class board.
It is our privilege to welcome you to the Now Arena for the Libertyville High School Class of 2022 commencement ceremony. Tonight, we proudly celebrate our achievements and fondly reflect on our experiences as Wildcats.
We are fortunate to be part of such a supportive community that rallies behind our school, supporting academics, athletics, fine arts, and a multitude of other activities and events. LHS provides a place for everyone through a variety of programs that allow us all to get involved, connect, and grow as individuals.
With our school year filled with so many special memories, it makes saying goodbye harder than we could ever imagine. Our class will be remembered as the group that revived school spirit and stayed strong through difficult times. Although our high school career hasn't been the most traditional, we made the most of what we had and continue to stay positive and connected.
Graduates, take a minute to look around you. You're surrounded by classmates, peers, and friends. Each of us is headed on a different direction with different goals in mind. While the future is full of excitement, opportunities, and challenges, tonight we pause and appreciate the past. We have worked hard the past 4 years to get to this point, so cherish this evening and take pride in your accomplishments.
On behalf of all the graduates, I wish to thank those who have joined us here tonight. We are successful because of your continued support, and we know that our accomplishments were made possible by your guidance and encouragement.
Congratulations, class of 2022. We've accomplished so much together, so be proud of yourself.
We would now like to introduce the choral director, Dr. Brown, as well as invite all senior choir members to the stage.
Thank you. Just wanted to say a few words about this group of young people. Majority of them, it's a very large group, a majority of them started singing in high school the first day of freshman year. And they've been with me for a long time. It's a very special class. They have stuck through a full year of remote learning, which is not that fun, singing by yourself in the bedroom. And I think this year helped to get us back on track and, like Sarah said, revive school spirit. It has been a great year getting everyone back in person and getting to sing together again. We would love to invite you now to stand again for the singing of our national anthem. If you would please stand.
Say does that star-spangled Told you you could always count on me, babe. From that day on, I made a vow. I'll be there when you want me, some way, somehow. 'Cause baby, there ain't no mountain high enough, ain't no valley low enough, ain't no river wide enough to keep me from getting to you, babe. Oh no, darling, no wind, no rain, or winter's cold can't stop me, baby. No, no, baby. If you were my ever in trouble, I'll be there on the double. Just send for me, oh baby. Send for me, oh baby. My love is alive, deep down in my heart, although we are miles apart. If you ever need a helping hand, I'll be there on the double just as fast as I can. Don't you know that there ain't no mountain high enough, ain't no valley low enough, ain't no river wide enough to keep me from getting to you, babe. Ain't no mountain high enough, ain't no valley low enough, ain't no river wide enough to keep me from you. Ain't no mountain high enough, ain't no valley low enough, ain't no river wide enough to keep me from you. Ain't no mountain keeps me from you, from you.
Good evening, and welcome to the 104th graduation at Libertyville High School. Tonight, we welcome all parents, guardians, family, friends, faculty, and graduates to celebrate the accomplishments of the class of 2022. My name is Ray Albin, and I am the proud Associate Principal of Libertyville High School. This evening, it is my honor to serve as your Master of Ceremony for our graduation. Normally, this is a role that is fulfilled by our principal, Dr. Tom Colentis. However, as you will soon hear, Dr. Colentis could not be here this evening. If you could please direct your attention to the screens behind the stage, let's listen to Dr. K's video introduction and well wishes.
Good evening, LHS Class of 2022, families, friends, staff. Welcome to the Libertyville High School graduation ceremony. I'm Principal Tom Colentis, and I'm so sorry that I cannot be here with you this evening to celebrate this wonderful moment. But as you know, I'm not just a principal, I'm also a dad. And right now, I'm attending my own daughter's high school graduation ceremony. My heart is filled with the same joy and pride that all of you as parents and guardians are feeling tonight as you look upon your children as well. Class of 2022, on the night before school started in August, we gathered together and I challenged you as leaders to help restore our school spirit and help renew all of the great things about LHS. Tonight, in your final act as a senior class, you are all helping to restore one of our school's most cherished traditions, our graduation ceremony at the Now Center. I want to thank each and every member of your class for all you have done throughout your school career. 3 of your 4 years of school were interrupted by the pandemic, and through it all, you demonstrated that you are truly daring students. No matter the obstacle, you remained committed to your education, your community, and to our school. You will always be remembered, the class of 2022, as the class that not only got us through the pandemic, but that helped us be even better on the backside of it. Thank you, class of 2022, for all you have done for LHS. You have mighty hearts, and your unyielding Wildcat spirit have inspired us all, and it will not be forgotten. Enjoy tonight's ceremony, and know that I am with you. As always, go Wildcats!
It is now my great pleasure to introduce our first student speaker of the evening, Miss Ellie George.
Like many, as a child, I loved playing with Legos. The tiny blocks of various different colors, shapes, and sizes were jumbled together in a box, and I was expected to build what the instructions told me to build. Most of the time, I did. As I grew older, I started to enjoy experimenting by building things that weren't in the instruction manuals. I quickly enjoyed the freedom to create something pre-designed, but make it my own. Entering LHS, an instruction manual and building blocks were handed to us to continue beloved traditions. We entered a home. We were new guests, not quite sure how we fit in yet. Grades above us had already settled in and were comfortable at 708 West Park Avenue. And before we knew it, this blueprint and spare building blocks were pressed into our hands, waiting for us to now lead the school. And I will admit, after the past 2 years, there was some work to be done. The pandemic had inflicted seemingly irreparable damage to our home, at no fault of our own. The grades above us held the foundation of LHS together the best they could, given they couldn't even enter the building for almost a year. So we returned, August of 2021, with a blueprint and, well, lots to do. In my mind, I still felt like a sophomore. How on earth were we supposed to fix our home that had endured so much damage? Where should we even start? The role of being leaders came easy to us, and I truly believe there wasn't a better class for the job. Our undeniable spirit and energy quickly flooded our home, shining out of every window. However, renovations aren't easy. We ran into unexpected challenges multiple times. We quickly realized the foundation of our home needed some change. So, we had to learn to embrace that change together. We found new and innovative ways to rearrange the building blocks given to us in 2018. Unlike when we were younger, we could no longer rely on the comfort the blueprint provided. Instead, we had to rely on our own ability to connect and create. We built a more durable house with stronger traditions as our foundations, with the addition of new ones. Brick by brick, we installed stronger foundations of kindness, love, and acceptance. We took to heart Dr. K's message to renew, not merely restore. We amplified the importance of a healthy mind and body to our fellow peers with the addition of expanding and promoting our Green Dot initiative. I think it is safe to say that the home we have built at LHS over the past 4 years is beyond extraordinary. On our journey of renovating and changing, we also built a community. As soon as the opportunity arose, we packed the stands of athletic and fine arts events once again. The harmony and connectedness of the class of 2022 sets us apart from those before us. Our home has provided us with amazing opportunities and relationships that will last a lifetime, and I'm forever grateful for the shelter and support it has given us. But families outgrow homes. That's just a part of life. Class of 2022, we have outgrown our home. The excitement and promise of our future has exceeded the bounds of the home we have built at LHS. We must move on. Closing doors can be scary. I'm sure I'm not alone in saying I feel a little apprehensive about leaving my home in a few months. But closing doors only promises the opportunity to open others. To stay comfortable is to stay stagnant. To be uncomfortable is to grow. And I believe it is time for us to be a little uncomfortable. We leave LHS with building blocks to build new homes. One could stay comfortable and continue to rebuild things they have already built. You know what pieces to use, where they go, and what it'll look like when you're done. Or you could build new things. You may have to try different pieces in different places until you are satisfied, or take it apart and build it again. But that's the one thing I loved about Legos. They're only as permanent as you allow them to be. Their permanency is only guaranteed by your desire to keep building. Class of 2022, I hope you will continue to innovate and build long after today. The creativity and adaptability that we had to learn and apply in our past 4 years at LHS guarantees that we will build successful relationships and careers. It also ensures that the process of closing and opening doors is one of excitement and opportunity. We no longer have a blueprint for the next steps of our lives, and we must build new homes from our imagination within. Whatever home means to you, build it with love and acceptance. Build it with equity and respect. Build it with virtue and forgiveness. Cater it to your needs, but do not be afraid to accept support and new ideas from those around you. Cherish perspective and create your own. Let us heed the words of an American author, poet, and civil rights activist, Maya Angelou. The ache for home lives in all of us, the safe place where we can go as we are and not be questioned. Though you're leaving the home you know, the home you feel most comfortable in, you'll have that again. Your life will have many new and exciting homes full of people you love and cherish. While I encourage you to not forget the home that you have built at LHS, there are mountains of building blocks waiting for you to begin. Thank you, class of 2022, for building this home with me. May your future residences harbor the sense of love and community that our LHS home always has. Thank you. It is now my honor to introduce my fellow graduate, Rafaida Abdal Rafwan.
All right, if I could have everyone smile real quick for a picture of the class of 2022. Thank you, thank you. All right, now let me actually introduce myself. My name is Rafaida Abdurrahman. but a lot of people just call me Ro because 3 syllables was a bit much. It's all good. I just wanted to start off by saying thank you to the amazing adults in this room and at Libertyville High School who supported us every step of the way throughout our high school careers and who helped shape the outstanding young adults before me today, wearing our caps and gowns. So back when I was in the 6th grade, we were watching Star Wars in math class to end off the week before winter break. Don't get me wrong, I love Princess Leia and everything. I just wasn't a big fan of Star Wars at the time. So I decided right there and then, out of complete boredom, that I was going to start writing a diary. And now, 6 years and 6 completed books later, I have what I call Roro's Diaries. And I never thought I'd say this in front of the entire senior class of 2022, but I would like to share a small excerpt from book 4 of Roro's Diaries. Dear Diary, today is August 10th, 2019. I start school the day after tomorrow, and I've never been this nervous about a move before in my life. What if I'm too, oh, Canada, and maple syrupy for them? See, almost 3 years ago, I moved to Libertyville from Canada, making it my 7th move at the age of 14. But that feeling of nervousness quickly went away after my first couple of weeks at Libertyville, because I realized that anyone that steps foot into our building is welcomed and treated with care and respect, the way a Wildcat does. This graduating class especially displayed the true meaning of being a Wildcat when the COVID-19 pandemic began. March 13th, our sophomore year, we got an announcement saying that we would be taking an additional week off of school to help prevent the spread of the virus. Not real talk, though. We all just thought that this was an extra long spring break, and we were walking out the hallways taking Snapchat selfies like, hey, we out of here. And even when the break got extended to April 31st, we just considered it a nice, long break from school. It wasn't until we realized that we wouldn't be returning for the rest of the school year and for the rest of 2020 that we realized the pandemic had taken much more away from us than we had expected. Now, some of you might recall the senior reunion the day before class started this school year. Dr. K asked us as a senior class to help bring back the spirit to LHS after the pandemic had taken so much of it away. And man, we do that. We came back and we showed the underclassmen what it meant to be a student here. We showed up to games, we hyped up our classmates' achievements, and most importantly, we showed the community that not even a global pandemic can take the spirit out of our hearts. And I know some of you might feel like we were robbed a huge part of our high school years. But let me just quote something that Mr. Woods told me once. But like, picture this in a really cool, inspirational Southern accent, okay? He said, "Good morning, Libertyville." It was the one opportunity I had to say it, I had to. But he also said, E plus R equals O. The event plus the response equals the outcome. Most of the times we can't control the events that happen in our lives, but we can always control our response. And that will have a direct impact on the outcome. We couldn't control school being canceled, sports being canceled, or the other impacts that the pandemic had on our individual lives, but we could control our response. We came back, and we made the most out of our senior year. And here we are, my friends. We're at O. The outcome was all of us sitting here today with caps on our heads and heads full of amazing memories that we've made over the past years. And as we move forward on our own journeys, we are going to encounter many E's, many events. But that only gives us just as many opportunities for R's, responses, and thus control of our own outcomes. So always remember that E plus R equals O. And always, always remember the Southern accent. And since this is the only time I'll be able to address the entire senior class of 2022. I'd like to personally thank each and every one of you for making one of the scariest events of my life become the best outcome to happen to me. Thank you for welcoming me into the community with open arms and for allowing me to share my experiences and background while also learning from you and growing with you. And let me just give you a sneak peek of what my diary entry is going to sound like tonight. Dear Diary, today is May 26th, 2022. We made it. Thank you. It's my pleasure to introduce Mr. Ray Albin, the Associate Principal at Libertyville High School. I'm gonna just grab my speech real quick.
Class of 2022, as I look out at you, I see so many strengths and skills. I am genuinely impressed and inspired by you all. The success of a high school rests largely upon the shoulders of the senior class, and your efforts, school spirit, and service helped to restore and renew the traditions of LHS throughout this school year. We could tell good stories to highlight each of you. I am truly sorry that we don't have time to do that tonight. Let's keep the impressive collective talents of the whole class in mind, though, as we now recognize those with exemplary academic achievement. National Honor Society members, please stand and be recognized. Thank you for your scholarship, leadership, and service. Please now be seated. Next, we recognize our LHS honor grads and ask them to stand. These students have achieved a GPA of 4.0 or better based on 7 semesters of grades. Thanks to all of these scholars for their outstanding efforts and classroom leadership. You may now be seated. Next, we recognize our Link Crew leaders and ask them to stand. Every year, these students have the huge responsibility of trying to help our freshman Wildcats transition to high school. This year, as we all transitioned back to full in-person learning, we asked a lot from you, and you each delivered. Thank you, Link Crew leaders, for your service to our school. You may be seated. Speaking of service, we now recognize 9 seniors who are wearing red, white, and blue tassels because they have chosen to serve the United States by enlisting in branches of the military after graduation. I speak for our entire school community when I thank you for choosing this noble path. Please stand when I call your names. Army, ROTC Reserve Officers Training Corps, Gabrielle Bannock, Lucy McGill. Air Force, ROTC Reserve Officers Training Corps, Peter Fink. United States Marines, Blake Erickson. Anthony McCormley. Rito Mendoza Silveira. Gavin Salisbury. United States Navy, Max Eichner. The Citadel Military College of South Carolina, Kayleen Riley. Congratulations, and let me also extend our sincere gratitude to our parents, guardians, and family members on active duty. Thank you for all you do for our nation. You may now be seated. Graduation not only marks the end of high school for our seniors, but additionally it symbolizes a new chapter for retiring teachers. As a community, I ask us to recognize 6 dedicated individuals, each of whom has dedicated their professional lives to the education of our students and Libertyville High School. You will all be missed. The class of 2022 faculty graduates are Miss Amy Belstra, College Resource Center. Mr. Dave Lapish, English. Mr. Bill Mix, Social Studies. Miss Patty Masha, Physical Welfare. Mr. Tim Regner, Math. Miss Connie Thumb, Special Services. Class of 2022, shortly I will present you to our superintendent, Dr. Denise Herman, and the Board of Education to receive your diplomas. But before I do, I wish to tell you a short story that I believe is emblematic of your high school journey. Many years ago, I used to be the head track and field coach at LHS, and in this role, I worked with hundreds of athletes who labored daily to improve in their running, jumping, and throwing. I loved being a coach and being a part of a good track meet where athletes competed against each other and the clock to achieve their personal best. Now, a track meet consists of 12 different running events, but there was always one event that caught my attention more than the others: the mile run. There was just something about seeing our athletes run 4 laps around a track at a pace that I could barely comprehend or much less achieve that kept me in awe. The mile run has a long history in the annals of track and field lore because for most of recorded time, no human could run this distance faster than 4 minutes. In fact, into the early 1950s, exercise physiologists postulated that humans were not physically capable of running a sub 4-minute mile. Then, in 1954, an English distance runner and medical student, Roger Bannister, set a personal goal of breaking the 4-minute mile barrier. Following a training protocol that was different from all previous standards, Roger Bannister broke the 4-minute barrier on May 6, 1954, by running a 3-minute, 59.4-second mile at Isley Road Track. Years later, when asked about this achievement, Sir Roger Bannister said, "However ordinary each of us may seem, we are all in some way special and can do things that are extraordinary, perhaps until then even thought impossible." When I think about you, class of 2022, this story instantly pops into my head because just like Roger Bannister, you too broke a barrier that no one thought was possible to overcome. Your high school career began in the fall of 2018 to the normal rhythms and experiences of a high school freshman full of dreams and aspirations. Then in March of your sophomore year, the COVID pandemic struck. And the ordinary trajectory of your high school experiences would forever be altered. This pandemic rendered every educational system that you had known suddenly worthless and caused many to question how we would continue. In these early days, it would have been easy for each of you to give up, to say that the high school experiences that you had begun dreaming about in the fall of 2018 were now lost forever. And no one would have blamed you for having these thoughts. Except that you didn't. You didn't blame others or feel sorry for yourself. You embraced the situation put before you and began to truly live the mission of District 128. You became daring. You nimbly navigated e-school and hybrid learning experiences to achieve ultimate academic success. You showed your resilience by advancing wellness issues at LHS and became model citizens living the life of a Wildcat who is happier, healthier, and higher performing. You dreamed of renewing the school spirit at LHS and watched it grow from the fall pep rally in the park to last weekend's prom that was 750 students strong, literally shaking the dance floor. You creatively engineered a play that was put on in a parking lot, and you thrived in all your athletic endeavors, competing at the highest levels of conference and IHSA state play. Your class, all 454 students strong, showed us all how to learn and live again in a post-pandemic world, and to not take each other or our opportunities for granted. When Roger Bannister broke the 4-minute mile barrier, his achievement was hailed across the world, and yet, strangely enough, his record only lasted 46 days. The psychological barrier of the 4-minute mile had been breached, and new challengers moved their dreams even further. Class of 2022, in a little more than 46 days, you too will leave Libertyville behind for new challenges at work, school, or the military. I wish you well in all of your endeavors and challenge you to build upon your high school legacy where the impossible became probable and dreams became reality. I am certain that in future years you shall achieve uncommon success, and remember that it began at LHS. Class of 2022, please stand. Dr. Herman and Board of Education members, before you are true Wildcats in academics, the arts, athletics, service, and spirit. They have each completed District 128's rigorous requirements for graduation, and therefore it is with great pleasure that I present you Libertyville's graduating class of 2022. Now please join me in welcoming District 128 Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Denise Herman.
Good evening. I am honored to be the superintendent of Community High School District 128 and very excited to be participating in my first graduation in this phenomenal district. As Rose said, this school and this district make newcomers feel welcome. Thank you, everyone. On behalf of the District 128 family, I want to express my sincere congratulations to the students of the class of 2022. Commencement is a very special time in D128 because it's the culmination and recognition of student commitment, dedication, and achievement in meeting our rigorous academic requirements, as well as to honor your many individual and team accomplishments in fine arts, athletic activities, or community service. Graduates, for the past 4 years, you have been surrounded by many people who have helped you along the way. I would like you to take a moment to join me in celebrating the family members, friends, and LHS staff members who are with us here in person or watching on the live stream this evening. LHS graduates, let's give them all a big round of applause. I would also like to recognize 3 senior students, Faith Davidson, John Graham, and Ryan McRory, who served as the LHS Student School Board representatives. They served you, their peers, and our Board of Education with excellence. They shared their hearts, their minds, and their spirit at each month's board meeting. Next, it is my pleasure to introduce the members of the District 128 Board of Education in attendance this evening, and who will also participate in distributing diplomas. Kara Benjamin, Don Carmichael, and Sunal Kulkarni. And now it gives me great pleasure to introduce Don Carmichael, D128 Board Secretary, who will address and accept the class of 2022.
Well, I wanted to see what it looked like. Oh, that's amazing. When do you ever see yourself that big? Thank you, Dr. Herman. Good evening, graduates, parents. Woo! Wow. This graduating class is like no other. I mean, your freshman year was your only normal year. Sophomore year was crazy. Last year, remote, hybrid, isolated. Then this year, the year that was supposed to be the normal year, was far from it. But at last, we were together. I don't have to tell you, you're the ones that went through it. No one else has, ever. Now here we are in what resembles life in the before times. If ever there was a time for great celebration, this is it. What you have done is unprecedented. Unprecedented. I heard that a lot over the last 2 years. I repeatedly heard, these are unprecedented times. I wonder, though, what exactly was it that was unprecedented? The pandemic? Well, we've been through those before. HIV, Hong Kong flu, Spanish flu. Gun violence? It ravages us daily. Racial tension? That continues to be an ongoing problem. Political discord? American history is full of it. War? There have been several during my lifetime. So what is it that's unprecedented? While over time Americans have suffered all of these, we, the people in this room, have not. For us, we are dealing with all of these simultaneously, which is truly unprecedented. I should have told you to sit down. You should sit down. Sit down. I was so nervous when I got up here that hey, if that's all I have to do to get applause, this is going to be awesome. Graduates, despite attending school during the most difficult of circumstances, you have achieved. You have risen. You have accepted the challenge of moving forward when no one knew exactly the best way ahead. Not teachers, not parents, not school boards, not politicians. We asked you to continue learning despite the obstacles, and you did. Teachers, I applaud you. You found ways to engage your students and to shepherd them through. Parents, thank you for your support while you helped your students and encouraged them along. And graduates, you are to be commended for your resilience. I couldn't be more proud. You're at a new beginning. Over the next few years, you're going to work to reach another goal. Some of you right now know exactly what it is that you're going to do. Most of you don't. I certainly didn't. It takes time to find yourself, but you have the tools that you need to do whatever you want. Choose what makes you happy. It's not cliche. You know how Mark Twain said, find a job you enjoy doing and you'll never have to work a day in your life? I take some exception to that. I chose to be an educator because I love teaching. It was a ton of work. It was hard work. But I looked forward to it every single day of my career. Find what you enjoy. Strive to be a lifelong learner. Continue to take classes. Learn to cook. Learn how to play the guitar. If you're going to college, find the IT class. Every college campus has one. Take that class, regardless of your major. Find out who the very best professors are and take their class because of them. Who knows, you might just find out that you like accounting or genetics or translating ancient manuscripts. I actually know somebody who's doing that. Do it because they have the passion for it. Join a club. I was a diver in college, but I joined the rugby club. It was a questionable decision. It was painful at times. But I acquired skills and I have lifelong friends because of it. You are beginning something you have never done. Make it something exciting. Make it something unprecedented. On behalf of the Board of Education, I am honored and proud to accept the Libertyville High School class of 2022. Thank you.
And now it is with great honor and pride that the District 128 Board of Education presents diplomas to the class of 2022. Will the honor guards please take their positions? As a reminder to our audience, as each name is singularly important and worthy of being heard, please refrain from applause until we have read each and every name. Also, please remember not to approach the stage to take pictures. We have provided grad images who will be taking professional quality pictures of all the graduates. I would like to call our honored readers, Paige Bleck and Owen Haywood, to their respective podiums. And at this time, will the first row of graduates please rise?
Rofida Abdel Rahman.
Salma Mohammed Abdulhalik.
Alyssa Abu Chakra.
Arturo Tomas Abrego.
Amy Angel Adamick.
Trent J. Adams.
Michael Daniel Adari.
Carson Blaine Agee.
Mariam N. Ahmed.
Patrick Joseph Akers.
Zoe Maka Alohi Hi'ilani Sashiko Alapai Ho'okala.
Alejandro Alvarez.
Zeltsin Yaritzi Alvarez.
Nikki Alyari.
Emily Jo Anderson.
Jeffrey William Anderson.
Caitlin Nicole Anderson.
Luke John Anderson.
Nicholas David Anderson.
Ryan Gerald Apgar.
Ethan Andrew Arft.
Candela Aregi Sola.
Linnea Marie Basilic.
Ella Marie Bathico.
Ishan Rahamath Beg.
Arnav Bajpai.
Matuz Dante Baldowski.
Gabriel Joseph Bannock.
Gloria Guadalupe Barbosa Gomez.
Maxwell Thomas Bassich.
Audrey Claire Bateski.
Colin Russell Bath.
Sydney Genevieve Baumstark.
Stella Margaret Bechtold.
Samaya Alexia Belcher.
Clara Inez Benavides.
Alexandra Grace Burns.
Danny Thomas Birmingham.
Jasmine Brock Bluckterson.
Tatum Mackenzie Blecker.
Zoe Isabel Boileau.
Jack Parker Blazer.
Jack Ryan Bonamart.
Kyle Alexander Bowe.
Veronica Gwendolyn Jean Bond.
Allison K. Bolas.
Grace Hadouet Bonjour.
Valerie Madison Bond.
Matthew Ryan Boyle.
Chase Michael Bonder.
Anthony Lewis Bresman.
Charlotte Denise Bossler.
Rachel Marie Brown.
Riley Malia Brennan.
Lucas Schuyler Bruckner.
Andrew Harrison Brooks.
Carlos Jonathan Cabrera.
Audrey Edna Brua.
Alexander Elias Campos.
Abigail Claire Burns.
Caitlin Marie Carlson.
Adam Anthony Campbell.
Chloe Jane Cashman.
Bryce Andrew Carl.
Chloe Hoitung Chan.
Megan Catherine Carroll.
Sebin Cho.
Alea Lisette Castro.
Jonathan Glenn Chulo.
Tom Christopher Shatamra.
Campbell Monica Clarkson.
Emily Ann Cizadlo.
William Sewan Clifford.
Addison Jane Clark.
Cole Montgomery Collins.
Grace Elizabeth Clausen.
Nathan Anthony Kalunga.
Grace Louise Cole.
Sydney J. Cooper.
Keegan Tyler Collins.
Sarah Marie Kowski.
Grace Alexis Camilla.
Evan Robert Dallas.
Everett William Cortese.
Faith Kalani Davidson.
Ava Gabrielle Cox.
Thomas John Delorier.
Sophie Marie Dementi.
Christina Lee Ding.
Quincy Joan Delude.
Ryan Spencer Doherty.
Connor Joshua Dixon.
Alyssa Dorner.
Jack Bernard Distenfield.
Sarah H. Dowden.
Kelsey Grace Donovan.
Neil Greg D'Souza.
Juliana Dorner.
Olivia Rose Duffy.
Isabel Trudy Downing.
Avery Marie Dulac.
Nora Jane Dudley.
Callista Marie Dunworth.
Nicolette Sophia Ducan.
Gwendolyn Beatrice Edgar.
Haley Carol Dunbar.
Emma Josephine Iserman.
Damaris Magdalena Duran.
Laura Elizabeth Erdman.
Maxwell Eichner.
Blake Ryan Erickson.
Peyton Joseph Erdl.
Ali Khalid Faze.
Gabrielle Cecilia Earhart.
Sophia Ann Fetter.
Alyssa Abigail Escamilla.
Andrew Christopher Finch.
Nathan Timothy Farmer.
Matthew John Fisher.
Jordan May Philissette.
Jade Elizabeth Catriona Fu.
Peter John Fink.
George Douglas Foster.
Tabitha Marie Flynn.
David Allen Friedman.
Catherine McCrea Fosman.
Joseph Donald Frega.
Chloe Olivia Frecking.
Isabel Ray Furlong.
Joseph Patrick Friedman.
Liam Eric Gaydon.
Emmeline Kendrick Fry.
Jasmine Gamino.
Carol Augustus Gassick.
Stephanie Nicole Garcia.
Caitlin Nikki Gallo.
Brandon Michael Gouch.
Lily Hazel Garcia.
Ellie Marie George.
Sebastian Garcia Stam.
Kate Elizabeth Gerber.
Casey Giebert.
Grant Edward Giardina.
Grady William Georgia.
Sam Allen Gilson.
Alexis Garcia.
Greer Lee Gleisner.
David Michael Gilson.
Avery Lorraine Gleason.
Albina Nicole Giza.
Natalie Faye Golwas.
Jack Antonio Glasgow.
Adri Brooke Gonzalez.
Paige Ellie Gleason.
John Thomas Graham.
Laura Christina Gomez Inez.
Liam George Greenberg.
Abigail Reese Gordon.
Delaney Grace Hackett.
Marcus Alexander Graham.
Gavin Michael Hallahan.
Samantha J.C. Castro Greenberg.
Christopher John Hannigan.
Asher John Hafen.
Charles Barrett Hansen.
Jack Ward Hamilton.
Abby Caitlin Harrison.
Miles Anson Hanbury.
Zara Tamkenut Hassan.
Alexandra Elizabeth Harris.
Kaisa Grace Hawkinson.
Camden Archer Hart.
Nathaniel Robert Herman.
Jonathan Preston Haug.
William Nicholas Hilliard.
Lauren Victoria Hettinger.
Dylan Robert Holmes.
Jack Thompson Holland.
Justin David Hornaday.
Kate Jennifer Hopkins.
Ella Margaret Howell.
Raymond Hayden Hooley.
Nash Sierra Husco.
George Robert Huber.
Logan Michael Hyatt.
Kellyanne Hutchins.
You good? Mac Thomas M.
Andrew Luis Ilian.
Caitlin Lee Jacobs.
Natalie Renee Isberg.
Trevor Cameron Jean.
Keegan James Jasser.
Dallin Kim Johnson.
Jessica Ewan Jin.
Harry Edward Jack Johnson.
Arlie Nicole Johnson.
Madison Emma Jerzik.
Gavin Christopher Johnson.
Alexander Evan Kapelevich.
Ethan Jun.
Maria Sieta Karim.
Robert Jacob Calieris.
Vaughn Thaddeus Cater.
Natalie Anna Kapelovich.
Alec John Kearns.
Elizabeth Mary Karsten.
Michael John Kelly.
Brody Lynn Kaufman.
Abigail Rose Kenzer.
Dylan John Kelly.
Lauren Kern.
Tyler James Kelly.
Kaylee Ann Canast.
Grant William Karyazakos.
Grant James Klimek.
Devashish Katavkar.
Joshua Michael Knuten.
Charles Grant Kistler.
Paige Lauren Konigsetter.
Cody William Clockey.
Kaylee Shay Koss.
Isabel Catherine Knutson.
Ella Sophia Kozlowski.
Matthew Mikhail Kopania.
Ella Suzette Christopher.
Christina Marie Kotsan.
Liliana Brigida Kulig.
Tegan Wesley Kraus.
Reagan Noel Kuipers.
Michael Andrew Kokonis.
Brandon P. Lacrosse.
Elizabeth Ruth Kuntz.
Thomas Quinn Lotka.
Carolyn Joanna Kwitnewski.
Ella Ray Lawrence.
Sarah Caroline Larson.
Owen Xavier Leonard.
Nadia Aman Lausch.
Emily Ann Latang.
Callie Grace Layton.
Ethan Parker Lindberg.
Clarissa Marie Latang.
Jessica Yuching Lee.
Alexander Wen Chuan Lim.
Nicholas Joseph Luizzo.
Jacob Martin Liphart.
Ryan Dennis Losh.
Josie Kalupe Liu.
Reeve Bridget Lounsbury.
Joshua Robert Loomstein.
Matthew James Lundy.
Michael Albert Ledspike.
Shirley Ma.
Cecilia Ray Lucarelli.
Lucy Elizabeth McGill.
Dakota Rose Lyons.
Debjani Matra.
Matthew Ross Motter.
Maxwell Joseph Manchek.
Hunter Caleb Bishop Mayhew.
Leah Elizabeth Margaritas.
Caleb Edward Robert Malloy.
Sage Marcel.
Sophie Managura.
Stephanie Martinez.
Isabel Maya Marinis.
Simona Danielle Masalskis.
Olivia Grace Martin.
Emily Brett Maisie.
Dragon Martinov.
Lily Elizabeth McAuliffe.
Brendan Patrick Max.
Anthony Alexander McClendon.
Astrid Elizabeth Mazzino.
Ryan Danielle McRory.
Dylan Jacobs McCarty.
Madison May McLean.
Anthony Carl McCormley.
Sarah Grace McNett.
Emily Mary McLean.
Michaela Mearshart.
Annie May McNett.
Jonathan Graham Melcher.
Nicanor Alexandro Medina.
Rito Mendoza Silvera.
Brenda Mayra.
Genevieve Rose Michelati,
Ariel Yabut Mendoza,
Addison Pearl Miller,
Catherine Louise Meyer,
Hudson Norling Mitchell,
Connor Andrew Machuda,
Xavier Montoya,
Carly Faith Miller,
Camden Jimmy Morrison,
Yemen Dean Muhammad,
Addison Judith Moss,
Grace Elizabeth Moore,
Mark Vincent Moss,
Mia Bella Mosconi,
Alex David Muling,
Ian Thomas Moss,
Kaisa Marie Murphy,
Grace Mudd,
Molly Vera Moscato,
Abby Elizabeth Mueller,
Haley Danielle Navarro,
Emma Maria Moscato,
Jackson Peter Nobby,
Yalem Na,
Sean Patrick Payton,
Jack William Nevins,
Nikhil V. Patel,
Jack Michael Norris,
Amy Lynn Paulson,
Albert John Piscavage,
Danilo Pedrosa Masaji,
Srivatsa S. Patel,
Chloe Angelique Petrie,
Jake Douglas Pavlik,
Haley Nicole Petz,
Isabella Sky Perkins,
Samuel Adam Pincel,
Lily Charisse Petrie,
Kennedy Amare Pitts,
Jacob Brian Phillips,
Bree Lynn Ponchak,
Evan Banks Pittum,
Diego Portillo Amador,
Alexander Joseph Podlagar,
Annika Reina,
Joshua John Poplawski,
Kevin Nicholas Ratton,
Olivia Kate Powell,
Camilo F. Restrepo,
Hazel Jane Purvis,
Kaylin Diego Riley,
Nathan Mario Ramirez,
Christian Michael Roberts,
Alexandria Cole Rakana,
Lauren Christine Rocco,
Noah Orion Jones Rice,
Brielle Alexis Rochester,
Alexander Samuel Rittner,
Willem Nathaniel Roulance,
Jose Miguel Salaroble,
Sophia Kathleen Romeo,
Michael James Rocco,
Madeline Ann Rupert,
Alyssa Paige Rodriguez,
Jonathan Patrick Ryan,
Sally Grace Rogers,
Isabella Sage,
Sarah Eleanor Rubenstein,
Jack Pritchard Sahagian,
Elizabeth Jane Ryan,
Eleanor Leanne Von Salton,
Gabriel George Marvin Sage,
Jacob Sandow,
Penelope Sage,
Koloyan Emilov Savchev,
Gavin Lowell Salisbury,
Brett Michael Schooneman,
Haley Victoria Sanchez,
Kendra Elizabeth Schlosser,
Emma Margaret Sowers,
Isabella Aileen Schultz,
Ivy Anna Schaefer,
Brady Robert Schweiger.
Rebecca Ann Schleining.
Grace Ellen Scott.
Coraline Riley Schrader.
Jasmine Elaine Say.
Timothy Jacob Schumann.
Andrew Michael Sellers.
Andrew Joseph Scott.
Catherine Elizabeth Shanahan.
Joshua Sears.
Mark Oliver Sikora.
Paul Anthony Sebi.
Sophia Catherine Simpson.
Amber Victoria Semler.
Kylie Elizabeth Skibitsky.
Tavish Paritesh Sharma.
Caleb Alexander Soderberg.
Nadia Lowry Simpson.
Michael David Saboro.
Morgan Olivia Singer.
Reagan Renee Sudan.
Megan Elizabeth Snow.
Ramanan Srirajan.
Priyanka Anna Somani.
Connor Nicholas Stelter.
Andrew Michael Sorensen.
John Alexander Stokovich.
Alexander Joseph Sramek.
Jordan Richard Swanson.
Nicole Nell Stefanyuk.
Azim Abdul Syed.
Sarah Rose Sterner.
Kayla Michael Talarico.
Jackson Reed Strauss.
Amir Ahmed Tanvir.
William Thomas Swearingen.
Gabriel L.R. Teixeira.
Kareem Zahir Syed.
Grace Elizabeth Templeton.
Benjamin Sean Tankel.
Caden Jane Theobald.
Evelyn Francesca Tarman.
Harper St. John Thompson.
Pearlie Rose Mandarino Temesi.
Cooper James Tobiaski.
Madeline Nona Tepper.
Maylee Kathleen Thompson.
Josephine Annalie Nicole Thomas.
Lou Tran.
Ryan Thomas Thrall.
Sarah Jane Ulrich.
Yassine Tolba.
Gabriela Valdez.
Tyler David Torres.
Sophie Marie Verkulen.
Ambika Tushar Trivedi.
Connor Jackson Walters.
Shuai Tu.
Molly Elise Wernz.
Alexa Valdez Paniagua.
Reese Wyatrowski.
Noah Alexander Valencia.
Kurt Frederick Wilcox.
Molly Kate Wallace.
Madison Taylor Wilson.
Wilbur Wesley Warren V.
Shane Paul Wimmer.
Liam David Wesselink.
Sarah Ann Walter.
Scott Brian Weikold.
Joseph Augustine Urick.
Nolan Richard Wiley.
Cassidy Jordan Zaslowski.
Gretchen Morrow Wimmer.
Alyssa Marie Zivkovic.
Connor James Wolfe. Qingzi Yang. Connor John Dietz Zalewski. Jenna Riley Zimniski. Sophia Leanne Zumwalt.
Owen Matthew Haywood.
Paige Ellen Black.
Members of the class of 2022, please stand. Graduates, at this time, please move your tassel from right to left. Ladies and gentlemen, I proudly present to you the graduates of the class of 2022.